So, amazing. Here we are. We have one keynote remaining, and really excited about this topic as well. I'm very passionate about change, but I'm also very passionate about AI, which I think is super cool. So, going to keep it short and sweet, and I'm going to bring on Tom Cheesewright and Dan Sodergren to talk about a very human future and why the rise of machines might mean better work for all of us. So, Tom and Dan, please give them a warm welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's only three things in life. That's time, money, and energy. Time, money, and energy. I am likely to run out of one of them, time, but I most probably won't run out of energy. I talk relatively quickly. So this chap, everyone knows this chap? Of course you will do, yeah. So Simon says, a British game, Simon says, no, fine enough. Simon says, start with your why. I think he's wrong. Start with the who. Always start with the who. Don't start with the why, start with the who. So who the heck am I? Hello, my name is Dan Sodergren. Nice to meet you all. I'm at the end here, and I did a TEDx talk which is all about this, about the future of work. It's not what you think, it's not what you feel, it's what you love. And Tom was part of that talk. He talked about high-frequency change, and I also talked about leadership and how that can change and how it needs to. So that brilliantly ties into what Karen was talking about, which is great. So my name is Dan Sodergren. I talk on the BBC and sometimes on radio about the future of work, technology, and now, of course, AI, because everyone's panicking about, will it take my job? Will it do all this stuff? And of course, we should be slightly panicking, but we don't really need to. But this is what I'm here to say, is with the right people and the right technology, you can take over the world. Without those things, the world takes over you. Okay? Who said that, just out of interest? Anyone know who very famously said that? Yeah, that's how egotistical I am. I put myself in my own slides at the very, very start. Isn't that terrible? There you go. What a terrible human being. And I could do this, of course, because I did loads of different tech companies. I worked with an HR tech company. I've worked in different places, gaming, also with an augmented reality company. I had that about 14 years ago. So I'm known as like a granddad of tech stuff now. And we even did Just Taxi, which was before Uber did the thing. Anyway, I'm now known as a tech futurist. So Tom talked about these great things, which is curate, create, and madam. What was the other one? Yes, madam. I just did this because it could be anyone. So, communicate. Yes, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, I was hoping you'd get it wrong. Damn it, he was really good. Okay, fine. Mine was collaboration. My C is collaboration. That's what we need to do. Like mine and Tom's talks are collaboration. Of course, there are great collaborations. Of course, there's Ant and Dec. Ant and Dec. I'll just leave it at Ant and Dec. I was going to do a whole thing about ebony and ivory, but I just think it's in bad taste, so I'm not going to. So I'm talking about high-frequency change. And the reason why Tom talks about that, and he's very clever in his book that he does so, I am literally the living embodiment of that, because I do a style which is called Petricuccia. Has everyone heard of that before? So every 3 to 10 seconds, I'm going to change the slide. So I'd like you to all to breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in. Oh, that was just for me. Breathe out. Oh, fantastic. So we're going to go a bit like a rocket ship. So here we go. Right, so I want you to think of think, feel, and love. Think, feel, and love. Right. Why should we be thinking about AI? Well, mainly because everyone's been talking about it for a long time, yeah? Everyone from about November 2022 was talking about AI, open AI. What's it doing to the world? And of course, why is this the case? And that's because it was the fastest growing thing ever. You've got to remember the telephone took, I think it was 72 years to get to 100 million people, yeah? It took ChatGPT 72 days. That's how quick the change has come, yeah? So when I was doing my TEDx talk, I was talking about using things like this, or this was like DALL-E 1, I think, and I was talking about this kind of immaterial artwork you do. In 3 months, it turned into this. You just type that in, and you get that great picture. Now, you'll all have heard, of course, of generative AI and Mid-Journey and those other things as well. What I want you to think about is how quickly this has moved on. From version 1 to version 5.1, it was about a year and a bit. This is the same prompt. Now, my point here is it's more like a metaphor, okay, for your own business and the potential of AI. It's moving that quickly. Yeah, OpenAI, I've just used DALL-E 3, is just about to come out. And so in the blink of AI, nick that from somebody else, from Riverside. If you do podcasts, by the way, use Riverside. It's amazing. And then it uses AI to edit them. Little plug for them. My point being, though, is we're going to have thousands of these companies. I was just talking to Karen about this literally backstage. We're going to have thousands of these companies, right? Because you've got this technological trigger point. You can have millions of companies doing this kind of stuff. And that's the point, is the future's already here. It's already here, yeah? So in your sector, you may not be seeing this, but believe me, it's everywhere else. So the C for me is collaboration. Yeah, we've got to learn, hopefully that won't happen again. We've got to learn how to collaborate, okay? So with AI, we have to collaborate more and more. Yeah, so as a consultant, loads of things have happened with AI, and now it's getting so good that you are better being a consultant when you use AI. okay? So much so that, in fact, the new stats that are out, this is only a couple of weeks old, means that if you were using GPT-4, and please use GPT-4, 3.5 is like asking a 16-year-old, GPT-4.4 is asking about a 21-year-old. Yeah, and you wouldn't ask a 16-year-old about your business strategy, let's be frank. It might be fun, but it might not be very wise. Yeah, so 12% more tasks on average if you use AI, 25% more quickly done, and the key one is 40% higher quality results, okay? And the bit that I want you to write down, though, is this, is that it's actually lower performers that are finding this is helpful for them. It's the lower performers that get the biggest gains, okay? This is using AI. So we have to collaborate. We have to collaborate, and collaboration will drive innovation. And that's around feeling. What do we feel about this? Well, what do HR people feel about it? This is a great slide that these people have put together for me, and it shows you a lovely little graph, and it just shows you two. Thanks very much, Anna. Great example of collaboration, of course. But let me just sum it up. It basically means that the more we know about AI, the less we're worried about it, and the more we're likely to use it. So this is just a knowledge gap, okay? AI is not here to steal your job, okay? But it works on data. And I always keep this slide in. It's not now true, but I always love it as an idea. Because us tech people, we love data. Of course we do. That's a geek joke, don't worry. So we love data, yeah? But you people, honestly, data will give you the power. It will give you an immense power. And now it doesn't have to be about big data. Okay? It doesn't have to be about big data. It's now our own data. There's always two gags in it, good. But the thing is, with our own proprietary data sets, and this gets a little bit geeky, but bear with, we've now got this understanding that it's no longer data is oil, data is now soil. And it's that soil that you can grow a positive company culture, okay? I'm going to put even a stage further than it being about soil. I'm going to say it's much more like CO2. We naturally give off data all the time as human beings, okay? So one of the things you have to think about is how do you become more agile? How do you think differently as a business? This is a huge change. But just like with CO2, it can be dangerous. Yeah, so the wrong data becomes a problem. So my point here is, with data, you've got to start to innovate. So start using innovation with your data sets. Start thinking about all this stuff now. Start working with the right people, because change is the only constant. The only constant is change. You see how I did that? See, it got better. That was the, no, fine, okay. So, because change is good, yeah? So change is progressive. Anyway, so right, what do I love? Well, obviously I love talking quickly and talking about AI, yes. But every so often, something huge happens in the way that we work. And I've been talking about the future work for over a decade, and I truly believed that fundamental seismic shift would be because of hybrid working, because of the global pandemic. Yeah, the remote work revolution. But actually, it's AI. There you go, madam, you can take a picture of it now. So, I'm not a monster. There you go. So, but you only got 1 second. So, fine. So, the fourth industrial revolution is where we're at, yeah? So, AI is now powering the fifth industrial revolution. This is how quickly this high-frequency change has happened, yeah? Which makes a difference to everyone in this room, because we now have this thing about radical flexibility. And the ability, when you harness radical flexibility with the right technology and the right people, fundamentally changes the business. Not just when and where we work, but who, what, and how much. And that is the next jump, the next leap forward in the world of companies. And also as individuals, my friend Volker Hirsch talked about this a few years ago, and he was talking about stuff that was above and below the API, i.e. the AI machine couldn't do. We're now in this world where it can pretty much do or add value to almost everything, okay? So this means we have to change. As leaders, we have to change. Yeah? This bit of high uncertainty, this bit of complex change means we must work with enthusiasm, and we must show how it's done, and we must develop people and give credit, just what Karen was talking about. We didn't plant that, by the way, it was just a bit of luck. Yeah? So, but it's true, this is the moment where our leaders must change. And if you are a leader, please do, and realize that this AI moment, you have to grab hold of, okay? Now, this is the bit where I was going to pause for at least 10 seconds, but you all have seen this before. This is the graph of complex change, yeah? So you know that without vision, skills, incentives, resources, and an action plan, you're not going to get success. This is a period of high complex change. It's going to last for about, 2 or 3 years, and it's going to be fundamentally different to what we knew before, way beyond what a lot of people are predicting. Just think about the change that's only happened in 9 months. If you're going to take a picture of this slide, please do so now, as I'm about to change it. 3, 2, did warn you, 1, he's got it. Did you get it? You got it. Okay, good. Right, cool. So this now gives us a superpower. AI gives us all a superpower, and especially those people who weren't brilliant before can now become more brilliant. This is a great leveler as well. This is almost a democratization of skills and talent. You can be almost anything you want to be because you can use the power of AI. We're literally at that point now. We weren't 3 months ago, but we are now. It is stunning. Now you can imagine this a little bit like, if you want, you can go down to you can use a mangle. Yeah, you can even go down to the river and wash your clothes in the river if you want. No problem. If you believe that was the way it should be done, give that a go. But when the washing machine turned about, the whole world changed, yeah? It gave people more time to do loads of different stuff. Some people would argue it even helped with the suffragette movement. I'm not going to touch that with a barge pole. But the point is this. Technology gives you more time to do stuff, yeah? So you can be a traditionalist and say, actually, we should still do it the old-fashioned way. But my guess is that most people are going to start using washing machines. Because AI actually gives you 2 brains, okay? Gives you the ability. Everyone now can have an intern. And that intern, bizarrely enough, can almost be better than you are. For the very reasons that my learned colleague rightly said. Because it's right, it's what it can do, right? So the bigger brain's actually AI. Now, a lot of people, when they hear that, they don't like it. They go, no, it can't be. It's rubbish. Computers can't be better than me. Now, I'm quite an old man. I'm a forgetful old man, so I can guarantee you it's better than I am. I'm not saying it's not better than some of the brilliant brains here. True, but it's astounding what it can do, okay? So even people like John Amici, who I was talking to the other day, name clang, there we go, who I was talking to the other day, he's a fantastic and brilliant person. If you don't know who he is, please follow him. He's awesome, right? Even he, in just a few minutes, I could show him something that he's never seen before and will help his business because, of course, he's not a massive geek like me. I specialize in AI. He specializes in writing award-winning books and being an amazing expert psychologist and working. He is awesome, right? But I could help him really, really quickly because I do stuff with AI. Now, I'm going to very, very quickly, only in the next 30 or 40 seconds, I'm going to show you something that you all might use already, but you might not. Okay? So everyone here, of course, has heard of GPT-4. Yeah? Has everyone bought GPT-4? Put your hand up if you bought GPT-4. That is brilliantly scary. Okay, awesome. So that's great. That's the right crowd. Just imagine if you all put your hand up and be like, oh, I'm out of job. So my advice is it's £20 a month, and with that, you can do something amazing, right? So GPT-4, you click this button here. I'm literally going to show you it now. So GPT-4, you pay for it, you click it there. You literally go to something called beta features, or whatever you call it. You go to advanced data analysis. Okay, that's the little button there. And then you go into something which is now called code interpreter. It used to be called code interpreter. Who here has heard of code interpreter? Put your hand up. Even better, less people. Okay, great. Please write it down. Write down code interpreter. We can find out about it later on, right? Why should you be excited by code interpreter? And it's a bit of AI. It is this. It does loads and loads of cool stuff. Okay, you don't need to know how to code. You don't need to know how to be a data scientist. You could be a data scientist. But honestly, data science, you could be, I think it's 4 years to learn how to become a data scientist, right? 4 years to learn that craft. But now, with AI and computer power, you can most probably do it in about 20 minutes, okay? Now, does that mean you're going to be the best data scientist in the world? Obviously not, but you might be a C grade, which is pretty good, yeah? That's pretty good. So, what does it let you do? Text analysis, of course, data sets, yeah, Python code analysis, that's cool, yeah, image manipulation, all these things. But what I want you to write down is this, custom data analysis, because this is what it allows you to do, okay? Every person in this room now can become a data scientist and understand things that they could never understand before because the machine can do it for you. You can literally save years of work by using customer data analysis or custom data analysis. And you've got to admire that, yeah? So if you all wrote down, hopefully you wrote down collaboration, innovation, maybe admire and admiration. So what does this mean in real terms? Well, I believe this. In the past, it used to be those people who didn't know about computers. And they got replaced by those who did. Then it was the internet. Then it was social media. You know, can you remember, I'm so old. Can anyone remember a boss who just didn't do email? I thought that was perfectly acceptable. Oh, no, I don't need to do email. I have someone who does my letters for me. Anyway, just flashback there for me, but there we go. More of a client than a boss. Now it's going to be people who use AI will replace people that don't, which is why you have this cliche. Yeah? AI won't replace you, but somebody using AI will. Now, the great thing about this is you all have the power to use AI. I would be lobbying and talking to your leaders, and if you're a leader yourself, thinking about your own people and paying that £20 a month. Just imagine, how much is £20 a month? Is Netflix and maybe a gym? I don't know. We're down in London. It's less than that. It's not even food. I don't know. Point being is, cost of living crisis, £20 a month is not a lot. yeah, and you can become amazing with AI. So my three, your three were awesome. My three are not quite as clever. So my three are collaboration, innovation, and then admiration, which spells, unfortunately, or signs out that one. Yeah, we want to be the opposite. There's my third one, thank you. We want to be the opposite to this. Because what we want to do is we want to bring the humane back into human resources. We want to be the opposite to the CIA. We want to be the good people. So, ladies and gentlemen, I said time, money, and energy. I most probably will run out of time. What does AI give us? Well, it gives us time back if we give it a bit of energy and maybe just a little bit of resources and love too. So, I must probably run out of time, but I won't run out of energy. So, as I said before, and it started with the right people and the right technology, you take over the world. Without them, that world will take over you. I have run out of time. My name's Dan Sodergren. Thanks for your time. Ta-da.